Hi, I'm here today with Sara Boonham, who is the head of cost management for Gleeds. And Sarah and I have had coaching together for a while, and Sarah's very kindly agreed to share her experience of coaching. So thanks very much for being here with me today, Sarah.
Thank you for having me, Pauline.
You're welcome. So, what was it that initially drew you to coaching? What was it that made you decide to do that?
I guess if we start on a degree of honesty, because that's always a good place to start, I was offered coaching by my business as part of the management rollout program. Noting, however, I had participated in some coaching, some leadership coaching previously. So I guess the honesty piece is it wasn't something that I was actively seeking or realised I needed at the time. But as I was offered it, I decided to dip my toe into the water and see how it went.
Great. And what was your experience like? Was it what you expected it would be based on your previous experience?
Um, it was very positive overall. I guess it was very different to what I expected. Initially, it didn't just focus on one part of my life. It encompassed everything: work, home life, also my background, and everything that maybe shapes you into being the person that you currently are at this present moment in time. I guess it possibly made me question my beliefs and how I respond or should respond to certain situations. And it even challenged my communication methods. I suppose most importantly to me is it enabled me to sort of step back and hover above myself and view, I don't know, my path, my direction, where I wanted to be and why, which I guess in my case, like lots of others, differed from the path that people had put me on or maybe was expected to be my career path. So it allowed me to take that high level overview of myself and where I was going, almost from an objective viewpoint, if that makes any sense.
Mm. Yeah, I like how you said that you kind of saw yourself from a different place, and you made you more aware of your beliefs and how you communicate. Can you share a bit more about how that changed in terms of your beliefs and your communication with people?
Um, I guess part of that is it allowed me to maybe appreciate and consider the behaviours of others around me, which enabled me to also understand how I could shape those behaviours, but more importantly, in some cases, move away from them. Something that stuck out for me, and I'll always see it as the defining point, is me acknowledging that some of these behaviours were simply white noise, which didn't positively impact on my mental state or productivity. And it allowed me to zone out in respect of those behaviours. And that's been one of the major takeaways from the whole experience, is it's allowed me to absolutely zone out. And whereas those behaviours would previously have irritated, waste emotional energy and productivity, trying to look at the rationale behind them, why this was said, how it was said, I just pop it on a shelf now as not relevant.
Mm. Yeah, which gives you more space, doesn't it?
Absolutely.
Yeah. And how was it challenging for you? Were there aspects of it that, you talked about how you stepped back from it and you heard the white noise. Were there any other challenges that you experienced?
Um, I guess because it was different to what I expected, there was lots of questions, posed of me, rather than a simple opportunity for me to offload information. And I guess I didn't expect that so much from my previous experience. And in terms of challenges, I guess some of the questions really taxed me, and allowed me to understand, however, more about myself. You know, I remember an exercise that we did where we were standing on pieces of paper and trying to, you know, understand which part of my body that sentiment came from, and where those words were coming from within me. And I guess those sorts of things, you know, maybe, you know, it's okay getting time in your diary to do these things. But to do the process justice, you have to maybe free up your mind, let it wander during the sessions. And that was a new experience and a new challenge.
Yeah. Yeah, because it's great when you can come down from your head into your body. We tend to just use this part, especially in business. When you're experiencing life through the whole of you, you have a different experience.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And how would you say it's impacted your experience of life? You said that it wasn't just about business, it's about your whole life, which is what coaching with me is, because I don't see how you can separate your life. It's you in it. What's changed for you?
I guess I've learned a little bit more about myself, and, you know, what makes me tick. And let's be honest, you're never really given time for that in the normal world, are you? So I think that was quite an eye-opener, because I didn't sort of expect that. I expected just to be channeled in a way to act in a business world. And whilst, you know, we've had some of that and some communication skills, and when you have to take, you know, time for a pause to allow other people to respond and reflect, and what gets the best reaction from others, it's really the piece about myself that I've taken away from it. You know, it did allow me to sit above myself and understand what it was I was doing, why I was doing it, whether that was what I really wanted, whether that was just because I'm living up to, you know, other people's expectations in the work world, in the personal world. But I think the biggest impact for me is what I talked about earlier, you know, the whole white noise thing. And I've shared that with, you know, an awful lot of people, where, you know, they've said to me, oh, well, you know, this has happened and that's happened, and why did they say this, and what did they mean by this? And sometimes you just have to accept people's behaviors aren't always fully acceptable, and they're not always productive behaviors. And actually being able to park those and pop those on the shelf as the white noise that we talked about has helped me massively. And I've shared that with quite a few friends, and they found it, you know, quite an interesting journey in how to react to situations and make themselves, you know, more focused and less distracted.
Yeah. And would you say it's had any impact in terms of your relationships, and if so, how?
Yes, because both work and personal relationships we've explored along the journey in the coaching, and again, you know, questioning other people's motivations and trying to read situations from somebody else's viewpoint, I think has really helped me to both understand the other person's point of view and what they're trying to get out of the situation, whether that's positive or negative. So I think not only has it allowed me to understand more about myself, it's allowed me to actually take a more objective view of what other people are trying to achieve, and allowed me to either park that as, yes, this is how I need to deal with it in a productive manner, or popping that onto the, you know, the white noise shelf. So, you know, I think in terms of your personal and social interactions, inevitably all that I've learned in that sphere has come to play.
And for anybody who's thinking about coaching, but not sure whether to do it, is there anything you would say to them?
yeah, just have a go. You know, we all use the excuse, like we do on lots of things in our life, we don't have time, because we genuinely believe that. And that's a blocker in most of our lives. We don't have time to go to the gym. Yes, I'm the worst culprit at that. You know, I don't have time to get on the wobble board that's in the kitchen that only takes 8 minutes a day. I think once you've tried coaching, if you get the right coach, you'll want to find that time. You know, it is really time well spent. You'll learn a lot about yourself, and that will allow you to positively shape your future in the direction in which you want, and make sure that those that are around you in that journey support you in that journey, because you will equally help to shape their behaviours where it's appropriate to do so. So and it's fun.
Sorry?
And it's fun.
And it's fun. Yeah, we have had fun.
Yeah.
That's really important, because we often think that this stuff is really serious and, you know, hard work, whatever, heavy, when actually there's a lot of lightness to it as well, and actually bringing lightness to perceived difficult situations makes a massive difference, doesn't it? It's not
Well, it's really a journey of discovery, isn't it? Is probably the best way I could describe it. You know, it can touch every element of your life.
Yeah. And is there anything else you'd like to share?
I think I've probably covered most things. You know, just have a go, free up the time, free up your mind, and I think you'll be surprised what comes out of it.
Great. Well, thanks very much, Sarah, for freeing up your time and sharing your experience of coaching.
You're very welcome, Pauline. Thanks for being on the journey with me.